Good afternoon and welcome. This is ASO TV News at 3. I am Isa Nu. The headlines. President Tinubu signs NIMC Act 2026 into law. Federal government plans fresh evacuation of Nigerians from South Africa. NDLEA intercept China-bound businesswoman with large consignment of cocaine. Nigerian Social Investment Authority opens application for 275,000 Innovation Prize at the upcoming 4th edition of the NSI Prize Innovation. And here are the details of the news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the National Identity Management Commission NIMC Act 2026 into law, a move aimed at strengthening Nigeria's identity management system, enhancing national security, improving public service delivery, and accelerating the country's digital transformation. The signing ceremony took place at the State House in Abuja in the presence of government officials and National Assembly leaders. Minister of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo described the new law as a major milestone in the federal government's security reforms.
The President came on board. We had a disconnected system within our identity data management system. As at that time, getting passport, getting work permits, and etc. was completely disconnected from our identity database. But today, you can't get a Nigerian passport without pulling data from NIMC. What you have in immigration is what you have in NIMC. And let me say this clearly, that it has even helped our border control process. I know sometimes ago the Senate President said something on the floor of the Senate that some people went on pilgrimage, some terrorists and etc.
Minister of State of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo described the new law as a major milestone in the federal government security reforms. Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu welcomed the presidential assent, describing the legislation as a timely reform that modernizes Nigeria's identity management framework.
I don't think, if I speak, we are going to reopen the debate on why we passed this piece of legislation for you. So I sent to become an act of parliament today. But let me say it's part of your innovation, part of your intuition, part of your reforms for Nigeria. You have promised that under your tenure, by the time you are through, that Nigeria will never be the same again.
Director General of NIMC, Dr. Abisoye Koka-Odusote, said the new act replaces a legal framework that had remained unchanged for 19 years.
Mr. President, your visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to digital transformation have once again positioned Nigeria for a future driven by innovation, trust, and inclusion. This landmark legislation is not just an amendment of an existing law. It is a bold leap into the future. For 19 years, the legal framework governing Nigeria's identity management system remained unchanged, while the digital landscape evolved rapidly. Today, that gap has been closed.
The signing was attended by the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, the representative of the World Bank, Taimur Samad, and the Director General of the National Identification Management Commission, Dr. Abisoye Koka-Odusote. The federal government is finalizing an arrangement to airlift another batch of stranded Nigerians in South Africa. Already over 300 Nigerians have been evacuated in 2 different flights, one conveying 268 by the federal government and another private arrangement conveying 66. The anti-immigration vigilante groups have set a June 30th, 2026 deadline demanding undocumented foreign nationals, especially blacks, to leave South Africa. The threat has sparked widespread fear of xenophobic unrest, leading several African nations to evacuate thousands of their citizens. Though South African authorities have heavily condemned the vigilante threat and deployed the police and the military to tighten security nationwide, sources in the presidency said the government is processing more flights as the June 30th, 2026 deadline for undocumented foreigners to leave South Africa draws closer. According to one of the sources, the federal government has made a request for another flight and the financial aspect is being worked out. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Abdulrazak Saad Namdas as the new Director General of the Border Communities Development Agency. Dr. Namdas replaces Dr. Dakorinama Alabo George, who resigned to contest for an elective post in his home state. A former member of the House of Representatives representing Ganye Jeddah Mayo Belwa Tongo Federal Constituency of Adamawa State, Namdas was the spokesperson of the 8th House of Representatives, an aspirant in the just concluded governorship primary election in Adamawa State. As a seasoned journalist and a public relations practitioner, he also served as the chief press secretary to former Governor Boni Aruna of Adamawa State, according to a statement by the presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga. President Tinubu also appointed Honorable Patrick Obayagbon as the executive director, strategy and commercial of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. Onanuga said President Tinubu reappointed Mr. Chukuma Umehoji as executive director, corporate services of the NDPHC. All appointments are effective immediately. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has said that the 2.5 million votes it promised to deliver for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 general elections will come from projects in the state. The governor stated this during an inspection tour of the ongoing ultra-modern market in Jatu, Esako West local government area, which he described as a major infrastructure development for Edo North and beyond. He said that the project being constructed by his administration would boost trade, commerce, and the overall economy of Edo State, accompanied by the Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Momo, former governor and senator for Edo North, Adams Oshomole, Speaker of the Edo Assembly, Blessing Agbebaku, and other officials. Okpebholo expressed satisfaction with the space of quality of work. Minister of Regional Development Abubakar Momo and Senator Oshomole applauded the governor's effort for the reconstruction of Jatu Market as a historic commercial hub that served former Midwest region for decades. The state government said the Jatu project is part of a broader plan to modernize market across Edo State. The Oba market in Benin and the Ekpoma modern market are also undergoing redeployment with improved facilities for traders. Former Vice President and presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has condemned the Federal High Court ruling that set aside an earlier judgment directing the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to register the Nigerian Democratic Congress as a political party. He described the development as part of a broader attempt to weaken the opposition ahead of the 2027 general election. The Federal High Court in Lokoja, Kogi State nullified its December 2025 judgment after ruling that the Peace Movement Party should have been joined in the suit because of its interests were affected by the case. The decision effectively altered the registration process for the Nigerian Democratic Congress. In a statement issued by his media office, Atiku alleged that the latest court ruling reflects what he described as President Bola Tinubu's determination to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. He warned that any effort to undermine opposition parties and deny Nigerians a genuine electoral choice could threaten the country's democratic stability. The former vice president maintained that free, fair, and credible elections remain foundation of democracy. He urged President Tinubu to emulate former President Muhammadu Buhari and Goodluck Jonathan, whom he said allowed opposition parties to operate freely and upheld democratic principles during their administrations. Atiku also called on members of the judiciary to remain independent and resist political interference. He urged judges not to allow themselves to be used to undermine Nigeria's democracy, stressing that political population should be tested through open and credible elections rather than by weakening the opposition. Federal Capital Territory President of the the Federal Capital Territory, President of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, Comrade Ibrahim Abdullahi Kabi, has urged the chairman of the Kuje Area Council, Mr. Danjuma Samet Chikolo, to prioritize workers' welfare by clearing outstanding salary arrears and other staff entitlement. Kabi made the appeal during a meeting between the council chairman and staff at the Kuje Area Council Secretariat. He said the prompt payment of salaries, implementation of workers' entitlement, capacity building, and labor-friendly policies would enhance productivity and promote industrial harmony within the council. According to the FCT Nolge president, clearing the backlog of salary arrears and outstanding entitlement would boost staff morale, strengthening confidence in the administration, and sustain industrial peace. Comrade Kabi assured the chairman of the union's commitment to promoting peace, dialogue, and mutual respect in labor management relations. He also advised the chairman not to allow political differences to undermine justice and fairness, while urging workers to remain dedicated, disciplined, and committed to their duties. You are watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on Star Times TV channel 127, and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, Governor Hyacinth Alia condemns killing of Magban chairman. Stay with us for more stories after the break.
From June 11th till July 19th, everything fit way. The FIFA World Cup 2026 go happen. Touchlight all 104 matches on top 4 correct channels. Sharply grab your GoTV decoder, GoTenna plus 1 month dolly for only 15,000 naira. Live on Super Sport, only on GoTV.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested a 38-year-old businesswoman, Iwebema Ogechi's Peace, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos for attempting to smuggle 7.5 kilograms of cocaine to Beijing, China. The illicit drug was concealed in the false bottom of her luggage before she was intercepted by operatives acting on credible intelligence. In another major operation, the agency recovered 4,959 kilograms of Canadian loud, a potent strain of cannabis valued at over 12.3 billion naira, from a 40-feet container at the Apapa port in Lagos. The shipment, which originated from Toronto, Canada, had been under NDLEA surveillance for more than 4 weeks before it was intercepted during a joint examination with the Nigerian Customs Service and other security agencies. The agency also uncovered a syndicate that secretly plants illicit drugs in the luggage of some suspecting passengers at motor parks. The operation, carried out in the Federal Capital Territory and Anambra State, led to the arrest of key suspects after a methamphetamine consignment hidden in a passenger's luggage was traced to its actual owners through intelligence-led investigation. In a separate operation in Lagos, NDLEA operatives intercepted 209.5 kilograms of Scottish loud bound for Enugu, arrested 3 transnational traffickers transporting 558,900 pills of tramadol concealed in a truck's fabricated compartment, and seized another 118 kilograms of skunk along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. 2 additional suspects were also arrested in Amukoko, Lagos, with 28.8 kilograms of skunk recovered from them. NDLEA Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, retired, commended officers involved in the operations for their sustained effort in reducing the supply of illicit drugs while continuing nationwide drug abuse awareness campaign in schools and communities. He urged personnel across the country to remain committed to the agency's fight against drug trafficking and abuse. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has condemned the killing of Alhaji Ardo Risku, the state chairman of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Magban, and his friend describing the incident as a terrible act that undermines the state's peace and stability. Alhaji Ardo Risku was waylaid and killed together with his friend in Otukpo local government area after a peace meeting held by the divisional police officer of Oimini local government area, all in Benue South Senatorial District. This was made known by the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Alia, Sir Kula Terso, on Saturday. The governor expressed deep shock and grief over the incident, which occurred at a time when the state was making significant progress in restoring peace across various local government areas. Viewing the killing as a direct challenge to his administration's efforts to foster peace and reconciliation, Governor Alia has directed security agencies to conduct a thorough and transparent investigation into the circumstances surrounding the killing. The agencies have been tasked with identifying the perpetrators and bringing them to justice swiftly to deter others who may seek to destabilize the state. Additionally, the governor has ordered enhanced security measures to protect community leaders engaged in peace-building efforts. He also extended condolences to the family of the deceased and Magban community, reaffirming his administration commitment to maintaining Benue as a home for peace. Troops of Operation Fansa Yamma have neutralized 2 suspected terrorists and recovered arms, ammunition, and a motorcycle during separate offensive operations in Kebbi State. Military sources say troops of Sector 2 made contact with the suspected terrorists at Saban Rumawa on Friday while carrying out a clearance operation. The ensuing gun battle resulted in death of 2 of the suspects. Items recovered during the operation include 2 AK-47 rifle, 143 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 9 AK-47 magazines, and 1 motorcycle believed to have been used by the suspect. The military says the operation is part of the ongoing effort to dismantle terrorist hideout and deny criminal element freedom movement across the Northwest region. Authorities add that troops will continue to sustain offensive operations across the theater to maintain pressure on the fleeing terrorists and consolidate recent security gains in the region. The Rotary Club of Federal Housing Authority, Lugbe, Abuja, has celebrated its 10th anniversary with the commission of 10 community development projects, including the award of full educational scholarship to 50 vulnerable children in Lugbe, Abuja. The scholarship are targeted at indigent pupils who dropped out of the local government or local education authority primary school in Lugbe due to financial constraint. The initiative is aimed at returning these children to school and reducing the number of out-of-school children in the community. Richard Alechenu Aibe report.
Speaking during the anniversary celebration, the District Governor of Rotary District 9127, Princess Joy Okoro, commended the Rotary Club of FHA, Lugbe, Abuja, for its decade-long commitment to humanitarian service and community development.
So it's a very good, impactful project because this school, these children have gone home. They've forgotten about education. And the club came and said, no, we must give you education. It's not as if they are not willing to be there, but because of financial problems from their parents and wards, they have left school. They said there are about 400 of them, and they have empowered 100, saying that they will do more. They'll pay their school fees for the next 2 years.
President of the Rotary Club of FHA, Lugbe, Abuja, Tumishi Adepoju, said the projects were carefully designed to celebrate the club's 10 years of service while addressing pressing needs within the Lugbe community. He explained that the scholarship scheme was introduced to provide educational opportunities for children from indigent families who had been forced to abandon their education because of financial hardship.
When we came, everywhere was exposed. No good classrooms, no toilet, no nothing. Everywhere was littered, everywhere was dirty. So you can't learn in that environment. So, and that has pushed us, okay, the first thing is to at least make the environment conducive, and the work has started. 2 out of the 5 blocks, 2 has been renovated. Then toilets, 3 has been renovated among the toilets. So partners are now coming to even also support to do it.
Because every club has their adopted community. You are able to understand the needs of your immediate community, and that's how we come about planning for the year, planning for all the projects that you are able to carry out in your Rotary year.
The assistant health teacher of LEA Primary School, Helen Okere, expressed appreciation to the Rotary Club for its intervention, describing the scholarship initiative as life-changing for many pupils whose education had been interrupted by financial challenges.
By touching the lives of these innocent children in various ways, ranging from the scholarship award given to some vulnerable children, giving us a very good conducive toilet area for the children, and linking it with water to make sure that the area is clean and the children will not contact any disease.
As part of the anniversary activities, health professional Akinde Hinde Modoluwa also educated pupils on the importance of oral and dental hygiene, encouraging them to adopt healthy habits to prevent dental diseases.
The topic was dental care. So it's just to teach them the main way of washing our teeth and how to keep the teeth healthy, what to eat, what not to eat.
The celebration culminated in the presentation of merit awards to distinguished members, partners and supporters in recognition of their outstanding contributions to the club's humanitarian project and sustained commitment to community service over the past decade.
The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, Abuja chapter, has embarked on an awareness campaign on the benefit of tax reforms with market men and women in Abuja. The 17th president of the Chartered Institute of Taxation Nigeria, Mr. Innocent Oagwa, said the awareness campaign is to encourage the traders to come to terms with the benefits of the tax reforms. Topsy Gimba has the details.
Mr. Innocent Oagwa said the significance of the campaign cannot be overemphasized for businessmen and women in the country. He said the Chartered Institute of Taxation Nigeria is to eliminate the fear in the minds of traders, shop owners and others that the tax reforms are implemented for the growth of small medium businesses.
Keep proper books and records up to 6 years. File your returns accurately and on time. Pay taxes when due, if you are liable to pay, and if you are exempted, you are exempted under the law to avoid penalties and interest. Seek professional guidance when in doubt, either from tax authority or from members of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Compliance is not a burden, it is a civic duty. It is a collective contribution to nation building. The taxation works best when there is trust. Taxpayers must fulfill their obligations, while government must uphold accountability, transparency, and effective use of resources.
The chairman, Local Organizing Committee, Chartered Institute of Taxation Nigeria, Dr. Oke Udo, spoke extensively about the awareness campaign among small business women and men.
Naturally, everywhere in the world, people are afraid of taxation. But this is trying to tell them that this one is not set out to kill, but set out to educate people and encourage people to pay tax for development. And may I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this is an avenue to tell people that some of them are not even going to pay tax. What they are running away from is that they are not in the bracket of taxpayers because probably they have not reached the income. They're exempted by law.
Also, a CITN Council Committee member, Dr. Wisdom Osadari, highlighted further of the importance of tax reforms to the economy.
Oh, it was low, that's what I'm telling you. That's even the essence of the reform. The reform came in order to increase the awareness. And the Institute, being a professional body, we are joining the government to create a robust awareness for people to be educated so that they can fulfill their tax obligations.
The Awareness Campaigns Council visited Wuse Market, Nigeria Revenue Service, Ministry of Finance, and others. Topsy Gimba, reporting for ASO Television News.
The Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority has opened applications for the 4th edition of its flagship entrepreneurial initiative known as NSIA Prize for Innovation NPI 4.0 with a combined prize pool of $275,000 and a potential access of $1.5 million in additional funding. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the NSIA, Aminu Umar Sadiq, in a press release described the program as more than a competition, noting that through the NSIA Prize for Innovation, the authority is creating opportunities for these innovators to access the funding. To access the funding, training, membership, mentorship, and strategic partnership they needed to scale their ideas into sustainable businesses. The NSIA chief disclosed that winners would also receive fully funded training at the Enterprise Development Center in Lagos, covering business strategy, financial management, leadership, governance, and investor readiness. He added that since its launch, the program has drawn over 20,000 applications across its first 3 editions, with participation spanning all 6 geopolitical zones and sectors ranging from fintech, agri-tech, and health tech, edtech, and logistics. According to the statement, the prize pool is drawn from 3 partners, including NSIA and with $220,000, Cascador with $45,000, and Wema Bank with $10,000. Football has recorded a historic achievement at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with 7 teams progressing to the round of 32 for the first time in the continent's history. Egypt, Cape Verde, and Senegal secured the latest qualification spot, joining Morocco, South Africa, Ghana, and Algeria in the knockout stage of the expanded 48-team tournament. The impressive performance marks Africa's best outing at a FIFA World Cup, following FIFA's expansion of the tournament, which allowed a record 10 African countries to qualify for the finals. 7 of those teams have now advanced beyond the group stage, underlining the growing competitiveness of the African football on the global stage. Among the standout performances is Cape Verde, making its World Cup debut and reaching the knockout stage in its first appearance. Egypt also returned strongly to the tournament, while Senegal continued its impressive record of advancing beyond the group stage at major international competition. And now, a breaking news of the death of Alhaja Sidikat Abake Bashiru, mother of the National Security Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, Senator Ajibola Bashiru. Alhaja Sidikat died in the early hours of Sunday, June 28. In a text post on his verified X-handle Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, Senator Bashiru said, "Alhamdulillah for a life well spent in a devotion to Allah and service to humanity." Since the news broke, tributes and condolences messages have poured in from political associates, friends, and well-wishers, all rallying around the APC national scribe with prayers and wisdom. May Allah continue to grant our soul perfect rest. And that's the bulletin. But before we go, let's take another look at one of our major stories. Former Vice President and presidential candidate of the ADC, Atiku Abubakar, has condemned the Federal High Court ruling that set aside an earlier judgment directing the INEC to register the NDC as a political party. That's the bulletin. On behalf of the editor Rukaya Muhammad Magaji and production crew, I am Isa Nu. Thanks for watching.